Hey everybody, it's Manly Badass Hero, and welcome back to Gingiva. Previously, after escaping the factory with the help of Gingiva, we encountered our second party member, which was a walking, talking TV that spews propaganda. Huh, I didn't even realize that was a door. Give me a little paper, come on. Everyone wants to marry me in this game. My heart beats at the sight of you. Destiny declares it. We must be wed. You know, I'm gonna say I do, just to see if his marriage is any different than the previous one. Oh yeah, so there is some difference. They have some different dialogue. The first guy we encountered talked about just making babies and making me a sandwich and stuff like that. Could have been a rock star if it wasn't for you. I wonder if there's an ending if you marry everyone, then divorce everyone. Recruit this Flea into your party. Is he really a party member? Or is he a temporary one? I don't know. Flea seems pretty weak. Strip her else. Bladder whack.
I love you more than the fat kid loves cake.
Jesus Christ. Flea is getting the shit kicked out of him. Half-torn letter. Satan beheld heaven, and is haunted by its memory. From the squalor of hell, he contemplates its infinite opulence. Next to him, I contemplate having lost you, and yet I weep harder than even that tormented devil. For you, I... A little slugger. Uncle Jim was a real mean guy. So we're noticing a theme between each of these so-called husbands or whatever. Like the previous one used attacks related to, he made mention of like, I could be a rock star if it wasn't for you. He attacked with like a 60s knight and something like that. God, it's a fucking wave of Gingivas. Holy shit. Sad clown. OP. Oh, I guess the flea is just temporary. What's your gimmick? Where's my sandwich? Who said you had a choice in the matter? Oh, music's different. A human spaghetti, which happens to actually look like... Let's just be honest, part of it looks like a penis. Funnel. They really went out with some new animations for the attacks and mittens. Stop hitting me, bro. Heart-shaped letter. Naughty girl. When I first saw you, my life forked. One path we would walk in company and bliss. The other I walk alone in torment of our separation. Here's a no one else, your slave. That's nice. Occasionally, I may fall sick due to the wiles of an insulter. Know that a positive state is discernible for its fluffy white angel wings, and a deleterious state by its webbed bat wings. There's a cure for everything, and you may discover assistance with such obstacles along our path. Gingiva's a pretty nice guy. Oh, he's talking again. You know, it just happened into my head to mention that I'm an alchemist of sorts. If you chance upon an item of special potential, I could use it to fasten a drollery. These drolleries are not unlike charms. You can wear the things for added protection. To view your most recently forged drollery, tap crematory under my savvy skill menu. To forge new drolleries, throw an item my way by tossing it up from your bag of finds. So, I guess our character doesn't have a name. I guess it's just Automaton or something. Gingiva, the game kind of goofed up a bit because you had access to all of Gingiva's ability and character before you actually acquired him. So if you were like me who was curious, you would discover his old little gimmicks and stuff like that early on. It's kind of interesting how there's a mouth up there. don't know if it's the Gingiva people's doing or not. A lot of matches in this area. Oh yeah, those look friendly. Oh fuck, the mosquitoes! Funny enough, they actually are friendly? Excuse me, I must pass through your skull mosquito self. Road's closed. Go home and return to your robotic field eater banal evils. I skipped that dialogue, oops. Transnational travel requires advanced registration, state-approved stickers, 20 forms of photo ID, an imperial receipt, stamps, 10 varieties of licenses, approval by a dozen of bureaucrats, a dinosaur fossil, and a special authorization by the magistrate. Container! Oh, we should have just gone to the ass-kicking part earlier. Let's see, chow down doesn't do much damage. Diffuser is just exactly the thing I need, though. It's like I'm killing them with like a little bit of DJing there. Check out these fat beats. By the way, they'll kill you. That wasn't so bad. Smoke up. Induces aggro and ill health. Umbrella hat, GMO produce. Congratulations, you created Ghost Wisp thing. Oh my god, we created a cat. He almost looks like one half of a cat dog or something. Thing. Fingerling. Fingard. Now Fingles. Of course we got a Fingus equipped. God, you're a lot freakier up close. Like something straight out Killer 7 or something. It's unfortunate these strangers arrive at our door, so ignorant of how the world works. It breaks my heart. How will society survive if it continues to turn out such worthless layabouts? You may as well be heading to a cliff's edge. You're poking a fresh wound in our reality. Not too kind, I say. We'd have built a bigger fence, but every year the vacuum on the other side slivers further inland. Even thinking about that unclean land down the path feeds its sighs. I am the canvas on which the image is framed. I am the table on which the feast is eaten. Oh, aren't you fortunate to have my attention? A wise mind would take notice of my words. Entering here is equal to eating at the tree of knowledge. a criminal act, to father all criminal acts. Should you ever return, I will taint your mind, corrupt your body, and snort the effulgence of your soul. When you are dead, I will spit you like a fortune cookie and count the rings. Your remains will be fashioned into a torture instrument, by which others like yourself are made to woe. This has been a word from your local governing official. So now I finally realize what that's all about. Bottom of the night to you. So he must be the big head honcho then. Or at least someone up in that position. This is actually sharing a lot of vibes with Oddworld as far as escaping a factory, seeing kind of like demotivationals like that on the way out. And of course, the world being odd. Tell me your secrets, wise old man. Are you sure you want to speak to derelict bagman? He smells of back alley streets and stale alcohol. Sure. Oh, what do you know? That homeless wanderer is in fact a resplendent Buddha. Day after day, countless creatures go to the abode of death, declares the Buddha. Yet those who remain believe themselves to be immortal. That is the true wonder of the world. Most who pass me are indifferent and hide their eyes from mine. Some are cruel and insult my person as they pass. The contents of my begging bowl have been robbed, and the bowl itself destroyed. I have been beaten and besmirched. I have been spit upon, urinated on, and trampled over by all manner of persons possessed of ignorance. Still, I accept such a fate because that fate is shared by the planet also. From time immemorial, the planet has been trod on by such persons and treated to every form of indignity. You, however, have a meek nature to open conversation with me. Therefore enjoy one boon. What would you like? What happens if I say nothing? Oh, it's just... I'm wondering if this is a trick question. Let's try saying nothing, see what happens. I have a save file. Then take this. It will only work once. The Brahma Astra. What the hell? Brahma Astra. Is it like a instant kill battle item? Oh dear, I only have 4 save files. How terrifying. Left or right? When in doubt, go right, I suppose. Oh, I thought these things were enemies, but they just aggroed by me. What should it be? Yeah, this is really getting very Oddworld now. Oddworld also had you meeting some kind of spiritual leader that would guide you as you escape the place. Here it's just like literal Buddha. Oh. Okay. I imagine the other guy is guarding the other door.
Why don't you come back to the family? We'll give you candy. The twin reptile.
This is pretty catchy. God, you have Uncle Jim too. Sad clown, super effective. Damn, kicked his ass. You're not even a mid-boss. Feel a new crawlery. Congratulations, you revealed Puffball Rabbit Thing. Let's go and kill your brother. See, the orbs are uncolored on this side, kind of representing their mirrored nature of these areas.
Why don't you come back to the family? We'll raise your pay.
Smoke. Smoke. Yeah, I see how this works. Both sides probably lead to the same place. No, they don't. Well, I guess I'll just go this way anyway. Ah, Flea. Taking the train. So the train over here. Does the other side have a train though? That's the question. At least we collected all the items. There's another flea. Let's get 2 fleas. Oh. You can only have 1 flea. And this is gonna be like a boat? Take the ferry. So we have a choice of a ferry? This might be a Charon thing, or we have the choice of the train, which looked like a fucking missile. Ah, decisions.
This is the world. Those lines indicate its various enclosures. You're headed to the deeper trenches of this place. And just like a drawer of secrets, the best is hidden deepest.
Quite a bit of world left. I killed you guys, what are you doing here?
The only cure for failure is success, said he to him. Sadness is setting in. Let's procure some hard liquor and drown our failures, said him to he. Can we read from the book of motivational sayings before we go to bed tonight?
Asked that he.
The symmetry is beautiful. Let us join efforts in single coordinate co-effort, responded him to he. Then we can return home and feel the soft carpet beneath our loved feet. It would be such a relief, said that
Same to him.
a warm supper and high salary. We'll have it made, said both in unison.
See you guys later. Losers. So I guess the things floating around him are the subjects he's talking about.
The magistrate is no benevolent official. He extracts tribute from the citizenry, like milk from a dairy teat. He might pass some attractive legislation now and then to keep order in line, but to be frank, he wouldn't spare a nickel to a homeless person if he passed 100 of them walking to the bank. Do you know why you came to have that motor head of yours? That's the result of a new way. As a girl, your natural-born head was severed off and a windable key superimposed over the laceration.
Oh, that was pretty cute.
The animism of their bodies is muted, and their humanly parts exchange for reliable mechanical widgets. Some of the transitions fail. The organic matter rejects the synthetic matter. Still, your change was successful and your head was pitched. However, I know the secret place where your human parts have been absconded away. A dumping yard for the human parts exists a little beyond the magistrate's residence.
God, this is some nightmare fuel right here. I'm on this very small, sensitive-looking ferry surrounded by giant fish. And one of them doesn't even look like a normal fish of any kind. It's like a hand bird thing. At least it's a pretty place, but still, these things are terrifying looking. God, imagine if you fell in there. Ugh. Jesus Christ. These things are bothering me. We've arrived on the shore of blackness. Tap shoes. Against the feet. A Charlie horse. Oh, okay. These worlds are certainly pretty. It's kind of interesting, though. It seems like we're traversing a human mind. Minions had another similar kind of thing like that, but it wasn't like your map or anything. God, there's so many of these bastards. There's so many phallic objects in this game. Oh, Jesus. It's like one of those scenes on one of them Japanese animes. I've seen one used before. Hip Hop Grill. He also blew up like that, too. Ah, I see. So that's how I get new items for you. So you get some hip hop grill. Got some retainer to fix those horse teeth. Hey.
You'd be surprised what the tall grasses can conceal. A blessing from me. Now, why don't you leave me to sleep?
Now, what did you give me? A blankie? Oh, it's the moon. I'm wondering if these things, the fungus and whatnot, actually have like some hidden stat or effect on you, like making you immune to certain elements. I haven't seen one of you vermises in a while. Oh, thanks, Flea. At my ankles, you son of a bitch. I wonder why there's no music here. I wonder if that's a bug. Liquid Rift? What the? Fully restored verve. I guess the rift really is just kind of encroaching on the place. So are we in the rift right now, and that's the area that's encroaching on the land? Or is it the area encroaching the land? I thought that'd just be symbolic for like a slum. As the factory grew, the slum would get bigger, essentially. Potato battery. The music's so relaxing in this area. The thing Ux. See, all these things don't alter my stats at all. Which leads me to wonder, what's the point of equipping them? So there's gotta be something I don't know about these things. Like, they gotta alter something, like your element, or... Yeah, you want me to marry you, don't you?
Your hollow eyes are like the crater pits of the moon. Oh, please marry me.
Screw you, buddy.
I hope you brought pepper spray.
Chief Organ. Lots of kisses, that's a new ability.
Is there an airport nearby, or is that just my heart taking off?
Jesus Christ. Just attacks me, Franklin, right? That's just how it works. Oh, that heals him. Smoke up, bro. Your attacks do absolutely nothing against this guy. Palm leaf water.
Your rejection destroys me. By your hand, the spirit of my person is squandered on the ground. What I was is no more. May my ghost forget you.
At least the music's back. So this is the area we have to go into progress. Oh, so this one decided to attack me. So that's what you guys look like. So you gotta go in there. Mind drink.
I agreed to share my den with these two laughaholics, but our relationship is hurting lately.
Found a flea. I can't use that item yet. That must be a party member that can use that eventually. So next party member is some kind of worm or something? Perhaps gained in this area. Some virgin locks. Now, what are you? That the eyes can shut is sometimes a pinnacle of mercy. Oh, see you later, Flea. Chicken in the woods.
It's never one of those moon things.
That's interesting.
Welcome to Vermis country. Here I am lord of my kind. To pass through our holy land, an initiation of sorts is required. Defeat our famous viceroy, etc., etc. I will take upon your challenge.
Oh, that changed things considerably.
These Ringo Vermis were once regarded in worshipful deference. In those days, they were considered supernal beings. At this time, it would be more likely for them to wind up as particularly impressive roadkill. Ever see a dragon dragged over with tire tracks? They're doughty and proud primeval fossils. It may be that they expect an offering.
So here's the Vermis. Now, are we in the Rift, and the Rift has somehow changed over time, perhaps? Gained development, maybe? It'd be freaky if we met the Nomad later, or even the gun.
Yeah, the Vermis Viceroy, alright. God, you guys are pathetic. Mystery Spear. Ah, you're the new party member. You've killed my host body. That body was my ticket to Easy Street. I guess I'll be your host. Those intestines were cush, I'm telling you. Now, as fairness would have it, you'd offer me up your own insides as a surrogate home. But you're not up to my elephant-sized needs. I require at least some wailing room, you see. Rightfully, you'll carry me along until the suitable housing shows itself. Then I'll call amends. It's the same item though. Sometimes scratch. Rave worm. Death warrant. That's interesting. Hello there.
do anything with you? Ah, I see, Flea. Come, Flea.
The blood of all men is the same, just as the spirit of all things is the same.
Solo. Female counterpart to that other thing. Excuse me, mate. They don't want to go there yet. Oh well.
Before it was customary to crop the entire head, mouths were immediately removed. A few of these mouths managed to escape extermination, and then live on to speak to a few who would hear it. They hide in the margins and grottos, where they yak their seldom-heard gospels. Haunted by the governing parties, these mouths must be careful not to speak too loudly. Though it is true that the whispering of millions is louder than the shouting of one. It was among this underground network of my fellows that I first learned of the shifting place. Place has many names, as it connects many worlds, like a cradle of tangled string. Like a treadmill, its surface crawls of its own accord. Sleeping there, you may awaken miles away from where you first reclined. This zone is described as the glue between worlds. It expands and contracts, with the expansion and contraction of the universe itself. It's a feral place, replete with parts harkening back to the seminal beginnings of the universe. Since our organized capture is underway at large, I see no other alternative but to plunge forward and hope for the best. If we can manage to pass along its fringe and now cross towards its exit, we may escape our pursuers. Since it has an entrance, I feel it's safe to assume it has an exit. Even a black hole has its back door.
So we are going, looking for the rift anyway.
Have some spilky goodness to spare a fellow down on his luck.
A tape of talk shows.
Maybe my taste of violence can be deterred by the power of love. Beautiful stranger, take me as your hubby. Urge to kill rising. A tree sheds a leaf and lives on, yet the leaf tires up, killed by its release. Oh, you fair lady who like the tree, please do not dismiss me. Though you have many branches and so many lush leaves, do not part with me. In Heart of Love.
Ow! Yeah, this is the freaky area. Go away, snake cat worm thing. I don't even know where to begin with this place. Uncle Jim in a nutshell.
So that ends Gingiva Part 2.
So we see in this chapter a lot of story development. I mean, the first one really established the whole factory thing, but I don't think the factory itself is the core storyline being moved here. It seems to be a lot of issues about feminism aside from the factories, although it kind of ties into the factories possibly being Asian, since a lot of those factories, a lot of those workers are sometimes just all female workforce. And the imagination when she was daydreaming did imagine like a lanky, tall thing, which is obviously like an American or something, you know, when you consider height comparisons between Asians and Westerners. But we see that the people here used to be at least somewhat human, or anyway, and they had their heads removed, or their mouths removed, in the early operations, which I started to suspect myself. That's actually another thing that connects to Oddworld, because in Oddworld the main character had his lips sealed. So it's another little similar thing they seem to share. But the whole head removal thing and replacing with the key, I guess you could see that as a kind of, like a society fitting women into kind of molds, or as kind of like that, or certain images. And the whole removing of mouths, I guess, is like saying, anything they would have to say is not important. We don't have to listen to them. They don't even need to talk. They just need to be things. So they don't need their mouths. They don't need their heads, kind of thing. I guess that's what kind of the message is. And as you go around, these beings make proposals to you for marriage. And you can either agree and you live this kind of shitty life with them as they like become drunk alcoholics. Or you can refuse and they really try to like kill you or molest you or something. A lot of heavy stuff. It also seems we're in an actual sequel to Middens. It's not the same characters, but it seems to take directly after Middens at some point in the future. I don't know how long that gap is, but it seems the rift is still expanding, and we're encountering things like are very familiar in the rift. The worms seem to be lesser beings now. They were kind of a big focus in the original Middens, but now they're kind of like fossils in this world. I suspect we're gonna see some remnants of Genie at some point, maybe even the Nomad if he's still alive, but I do see that coming. Now, I think I've gone about maybe a little bit, maybe close to the halfway point of this game, maybe less. So far, I think this game's a lot better than Middens. Middens is a kind of different game, it's got that exploration aspect, but this world, I think, still captures that kind of feeling of exploration, while having a much more focused plot and motivation for your character. Middens, you're just kind of wandering around with your gun, and your gun would occasionally tell you to like kill people and stuff like that. And eventually, you come to a confrontation in the end. Here we have a very focused plot, much more closer to say like Off or something. It's actually very similar now. And I think the game is a bit better for it, because now the narrative is a little bit easier to understand. And we're actually kind of figuring out more about the rift itself. It's not like a little vague thing. It's a real entity that we can kind of wrap our head around, that we see is there kind of engulfing things, which I think is important. The main weakness I see with this game, though, is most of the fights were optional. And I believe the game scaled the difficulty a bit to you. I don't think this one does that. This one, I think you really have to kill things and grind a bit, and all the things kind of chase after you and they're very fast. So you're going to be doing a lot of killing in this. So it's really a very true JRPG at heart, which kind of slows down your gameplay. Like, you just kind of want to explore, but you gotta clear out everything in the area. And to give you an example, like my last video, which was I think about almost 40 minutes or so, around that mark, that was over an hour of footage, and this one's about an hour 40 of footage condensed into about 50 minutes or so. So, like that, it adds that much extra time to your journey, which you could have just been exploring. And I think that should be toned down a bit. Anyway, that's all I can really say about Gingiva so far. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for part 3.